There's a hard truth most men learn too late. A woman doesn't ruin your life overnight. She destroys it slowly, silently, one tolerated behavior at a time. You don't lose your confidence in a single argument. You lose it the moment you let disrespect slide because you love her. You don't lose your peace in one fight. You lose it every time you ignore a red flag because maybe she'll change. A man doesn't get broken by women. He gets broken by his fear of walking away. Modern relationships are not ruined by lack of love. They're ruined by lack of standards. Men have been trained to prove they're loyal, prove they're good enough, prove they're not like other guys. Meanwhile, the woman doesn't need to prove anything. She just needs to exist. And that is where men go wrong. The moment you start competing for approval instead of choosing based on standards, you've already lost the game. A real man doesn't chase a woman. He evaluates her. He doesn't hope she's loyal, feminine, or respectful. He observes and decides if she's worthy of his time, energy, legacy, and last name. Because a woman can either multiply your greatness or destroy it so slowly you don't even notice until you're empty, broke, drained, and unrecognizable. The 7 red flags you're about to hear are not little flaws. These are behaviors that show a woman has no respect for your leadership, no value for your time, and no intention of building with you, only benefiting from you. And if you see even one of these early, the answer is not therapy, negotiation, or trying harder. The answer is simple. Walk away before she costs you your future. Red flag 1. She thinks she's the prize, but brings nothing to the table. A woman who believes she is the prize just because she exists is the biggest liability a man can attach himself to. Not because she's confident, and confidence is attractive, but because she's delusional. And a delusional woman will drain you dry while genuinely believing you should be grateful for the privilege. We live in an era where a woman can have zero femininity, zero loyalty, zero effort, zero accountability, and still walk around saying, "I'm the prize." Why? Because society has convinced her that your attention is automatic, your commitment is expected, and your resources are her birthright. That means she doesn't have to earn respect. She just has to demand it. She doesn't have to treat you right. She just has to accuse you of not being a real man if you don't play along. Here's the truth. A woman is only a prize to the level she brings peace, loyalty, support, and value to a man's mission. A beautiful face is not a prize. It's a temporary visual advantage. Makeup, filters, and Instagram angles didn't exist in the past. A woman had to offer something real: softness, wisdom, nurturing energy, emotional stability, family values. Today, she thinks being hot is a personality trait. You will know she thinks she's the prize when she expects dates, gifts, dinners, trips, without giving anything back. She talks about what she deserves, but never what she offers. She treats effort like charity, as if you should be honored to do things for her. She believes your time and money are her entitlement, not your choice. She thinks being a woman is her contribution. This kind of woman doesn't want a relationship, and she wants a sponsor. She doesn't want partnership, or she wants benefits. She doesn't want to build. She wants to be carried. And the biggest trap, she will treat your effort as bare minimum, while her bare minimum will be treated as royalty. The masculine mistake, thinking you can prove your worth to her. You can't, because she doesn't want a man. She wants a lifestyle, and lifestyles don't love back. A woman who brings value will show it. She will listen, support, respect, help, encourage, nurture, soften your world. A woman who thinks she's the prize will only consume. And the moment you stop feeding her ego, attention, or resources, she'll leave. Not because you changed, but because you stopped paying the entry fee. Remember this: a woman who thinks she's the prize is only a prize to men with no standards. Red flag 2, she tests your boundaries, then calls you controlling when you enforce them. A woman who respects you will respect your boundaries. A woman who is planning to dominate, manipulate, or destabilize you will test them. Not once, not accidentally, but repeatedly, just to see how much she can get away with before you break. The moment you set a standard, a toxic woman doesn't think, okay, I respect that. She thinks, let me push it and see if he's really serious. You say you don't tolerate disrespect? She jokingly disrespects you in front of others. You say you don't accept male best friends in a relationship? Suddenly she's getting friendly with one. You say loyalty matters? She starts posting revealing selfies, claiming it's just confidence. You say you don't want her going to the club every weekend? She calls you insecure. Pay attention. She doesn't want freedom. She wants power. She wants to see if she can bend your rules, gaslight you, and make you doubt your own standards. And the easiest way for her to do that is by flipping the roles, accusing you of being controlling, toxic, insecure, or scared of strong women. That is manipulation, not misunderstanding. A good woman doesn't need to cross the line to understand it. A bad woman needs to erase the line to feel like she's in control. Here's the test. When you calmly say, I don't accept that, does she adjust or does she attack? A feminine woman will ask, okay, what makes you uncomfortable? A disrespectful woman will say, you're crazy, you're insecure, you're trying to own me. The moment she uses shame to override your standards, she's telling you one thing clearly. I care more about doing what I want than respecting what you need. And the biggest masculine mistake? Explaining your boundaries to a woman who already understands them but doesn't care. A real woman doesn't fight your standards. She aligns with them if she values you. A selfish woman fights them because she values her options more than your relationship. When a woman gets defensive instead of respectful, that's not independence. That's rebellion. And a rebellious woman in a relationship isn't looking for a man. She's looking for a challenge to conquer. And if she can conquer your boundaries, she will never respect you again. Red flag 3, she uses emotions as weapons, crying, arguing, or playing victim to control you. Some women don't need logic, honesty, or accountability because they've mastered something far more powerful, emotional manipulation. She doesn't need to prove you wrong. She just needs to make you feel wrong. And the second you start defending yourself instead of standing your ground, she knows she's in control. There are 3 emotional weapons toxic women use. 1. Tears as a shield. When she's caught lying, disrespecting you, or crossing a boundary, she won't apologize. She'll cry, not because she's hurt, but because she wants to shift the guilt onto you. Suddenly you feel like the bad guy. You feel cruel. You start apologizing. And guess what? The original issue is forgotten. No consequences. She just reset the game. 2. Anger as intimidation. When she can't win with emotion, she switches to aggression. She yells, accuses, curses, throws things, storms out, or starts a dramatic scene. Not because she's passionate, but because she knows if she makes the argument chaotic enough, you'll give in first just to restore peace. That's not emotion, that's strategy. 3. Playing the victim. This is the most dangerous one. She flips every situation to make herself the wounded party. She can cheat and still say you made her do it. She can disrespect you and claim you pushed her to it. She can be the one at fault and somehow end up saying, I can't believe how you treat me. Suddenly, she's the victim, you're the villain, and she's now emotionally justified in anything she does next. This is not love. This is psychological warfare wrapped in femininity. The key sign of emotional manipulation. When the conversation is no longer about truth, it's about her feelings. You say, that was disrespectful. She says, why are you attacking me? You say, you crossed a boundary. She says, you don't even care about my feelings. You say, that was wrong. She says, I guess I'm just never enough for you. Translation? I don't have a real argument, so I'm going to make you feel guilty for having standards. A feminine, mature woman uses emotions to connect. A toxic woman uses emotions to control. If every disagreement ends with her crying, shouting, blaming, or spinning the story until you're apologizing for something she did, you're not in a relationship. You're in a behavioral prison, where she is both the victim and the warden. And if she controls your emotions, she controls you. Red flag 4. She treats respect like it must be earned, but expects love, loyalty, and commitment for free. A real woman understands this simple truth. Respect is the foundation of love. A toxic woman believes the opposite. Love me first, and maybe I'll respect you later. And that's exactly how she traps weak men, by making them prove their worth, while she gives nothing in return. This kind of woman wants unconditional loyalty without giving unconditional respect. She wants you to protect her, defend her, prioritize her, invest in her, while she constantly tests, disrespects, and questions you as if she's the judge and you're on trial. She'll say things like, "Respect is earned. I don't submit to a man unless he proves himself. Why should I listen to you? You're not my father. I don't need to respect you." But the moment you expect loyalty, femininity, or effort, she plays the "you're supposed to love me no matter what" card. That's not a relationship. That's a one-way contract where you're the provider and she's the evaluator. Here's the masculine reality. You don't earn respect in a relationship. You enter it with respect already mutual. If she only respects you after you give her everything, she never respected you at all. A woman who loves you naturally respects you without being forced or convinced. A woman who loves you says, "I trust you, I respect your lead, and I stand with you." A woman who only loves herself says, "Impress me, convince me, prove to me why I should care." She wants benefits, not bonding. She wants attention, not alignment. She wants a king-sized ego boost without king-sized behavior. The irony? She will demand a real man. But the moment she finds one, she refuses to treat him like one. And here's the danger. Once you accept disrespect in exchange for love, you've already lost your masculine frame. She will never see you the same again. She will never admire you. She will never soften for you, because in her mind, you negotiated your dignity just to stay with her. And once a woman sees you as a man who needs her more than he values himself, she will never stop taking from you. A good woman doesn't make you earn basic respect. A toxic woman makes you chase it forever, just to feel superior. And the only correct response? Don't argue. Don't negotiate. Don't try to show her your worth. Just leave, because a man who has self-respect doesn't stay anywhere. Respect is optional. Red flag 5. She never apologizes. Everything somehow becomes your fault. There are women who make mistakes, and then there are women who make excuses. A mature woman owns her actions. A toxic woman rewrites reality. If you've ever argued with a woman and walked away thinking, "Wait, how did I end up apologizing for something she did?" Then congratulations, you just experienced accountability reversal, one of the most powerful manipulation tactics in female psychology. This woman will lie but blame you for not trusting her, disrespect you but accuse you of being too sensitive, flirt with other men but say you're jealous and insecure, start drama but say you're the problem because you react, do something wrong, then cry, deflect, or change the topic. She doesn't fix problems. She redirects blame. She's not interested in truth. She's interested in winning. And if winning means twisting the story until you doubt reality, she'll do it without blinking. This is the woman who uses phrases like, "I wouldn't have done that if you didn't. I guess I'm just the bad guy, right? You always make me feel like I'm the problem. You just don't understand me. You overreacted, that's why it escalated." Notice the pattern. Nothing is ever her fault. There's always a reason, a justification, a victim card, a "you made me do it" excuse. She believes apology equals weakness, so instead she shifts the guilt onto you and watches you explain yourself like a defendant in court. And the tragedy? Weak men stay. Strong men blame themselves, because they think if they were better, she would treat them better. Wrong. A woman who refuses accountability will not change for any man. Not a richer man, not a kinder man, not a more patient man, because her problem isn't the relationship, it's her ego. A woman who cannot say "I was wrong" is a woman who cannot grow. A woman who never apologizes is a woman who will eventually destroy the relationship, because every mistake will be repeated, defended, and justified. Masculine truth? A real woman apologizes because she values the relationship. A toxic woman avoids apologizing because she values her pride. And if she protects her pride more than your peace, she is not your partner. She is your enemy disguised as your lover. If every argument ends with her clean and you guilty, If every issue turns into a lecture about your flaws, your tone, your reaction, if she cannot speak the simple words, "I'm sorry," then you're not in love. You're in a mental hostage situation held captive by blame, and a man with dignity doesn't stay with someone who can never admit they're wrong. Red flag 6, she embarrasses you in public but acts innocent in private. A woman who respects you protects your image, even when she's angry. A woman who secretly resents you attacks your image, especially when others are watching. This is the woman who will joke about your flaws in front of her friends, mock your goals in front of strangers, roll her eyes at you in public, or talk to you with a tone she would never use with a man she fears losing. But the moment you call her out in private, she switches into, "You're overreacting. I was just joking." No, she wasn't joking. She was testing the limits of disrespect. When a woman humiliates you in public, she is sending a coded message. I don't see you as a leader, a man to respect, or someone I need to protect. Because here's the truth. A loyal woman defends her man behind his back and honors him in public. A disrespectful woman praises him in private only when she wants something, and tears him down in public when she feels untouchable. Pay attention to the patterns. She argues with you in front of people, then claims you made her react. She compares you to other men and says it's just being honest. She insults you around her friends and calls it playful teasing. She shows attitude in public, but acts sweet when the audience disappears. She gives you the silent treatment in front of others to make you look weak. That's not humor. That's ego warfare. A woman who loves you will protect your dignity even in conflict. A woman who uses you will protect her reputation while ruining yours. And here's the psychological trap. She won't disrespect you in ways that are obviously toxic. Instead, she'll use socially acceptable disrespect. Sarcasm, mocking, passive-aggressive comments, funny, insults, backhanded compliments, subtle emasculation. Because she knows it's hard for a man to call that out without looking too sensitive. But a real man knows. A woman's true character shows in how she speaks about you when she feels no need to impress you. If she only respects you when it benefits her, she doesn't respect you. If she only acts feminine when you're alone, it's an act, not her nature. If she protects your pride in silence but destroys it in public, she's not a partner, she's a saboteur. And here's the masculine rule. If she can embarrass you in public once, she will destroy you in private later. A woman who laughs at you cannot build with you. A woman who disrespects you socially will eventually disrespect you emotionally, financially, sexually, and spiritually. You don't correct a woman like this. You don't explain. You don't negotiate. You walk because a man who knows his value doesn't stay where he's treated like a joke. Red flag 7, she wants the benefits of a relationship, but the freedom of being single. This is the most common modern red flag. The woman who wants boyfriend privileges without girlfriend responsibilities. She wants your loyalty, your protection, your attention, your emotional support, your money, your consistency. But when it comes to her behavior, suddenly she's independent, free, not owned by anyone, and living her best life. Translation: I want you to act like a committed man while I behave like a single woman. She will expect you to. Stay loyal. Not talk to other women. Be emotionally available. Be financially dependable. Take her seriously. Make future plans. But she will keep guy friends, post thirst traps online, get attention from other men, have a nightlife you're not invited to, keep options open just in case. Say, "We're not married, don't control me." She wants the title when it benefits her and the freedom when it doesn't. This is the woman who says, "I'm not doing anything wrong, I just like attention." You're insecure if you don't trust me. I shouldn't have to change just because I'm in a relationship. If you were confident, other men wouldn't bother you. Just because I'm taken doesn't mean I can't live my life. And the best part? She sees you as controlling, while she's the one controlling the terms of commitment. You're expected to act like a husband, while she reserves the right to act like she's still on the market. Men make one fatal mistake here. They think if they love her harder, she'll finally choose them fully. She won't, because she already has the relationship she wants. Your loyalty, your effort, your time, your protection, your emotional investment, without giving up her options, without giving up male attention, without sacrificing her ego, without being fully feminine, without being accountable to the role of a girlfriend or wife. This is not a relationship. This is a man being used as a romantic insurance policy while she shops for upgrades. A good woman disconnects from the world to connect with her man. A selfish woman keeps the world on standby, just in case she feels bored, insecure, or wants attention. Masculine truth. If she wants commitment from you, she must also give up access to other men. Because love without exclusivity is just emotional prostitution. If she wants relationship benefits, she must accept relationship boundaries. If she wants your loyalty, she must earn your exclusivity. If she wants a man she can trust, she must become a woman who can be trusted. Anything less? You're not her man. You're just her safety net. The truth is simple. A woman doesn't destroy a man's life by accident. She destroys it because he refused to walk away when the red flags were clear. Men lose themselves not because women are powerful, but because they ignore their own power. Every one of the 7 red flags you just heard has one thing in common: a lack of respect. And the moment a woman stops respecting you, everything else, loyalty, peace, femininity, intimacy, cooperation, dies with it. A good woman will make your life feel lighter. A toxic woman will make your life feel like a test you can never pass. A good woman adds to your mission. A toxic woman becomes the mission and distracts you from everything else. A good woman gives you energy. A toxic woman drains it, then blames you for being empty. Men today think the worst thing that can happen is being alone. Wrong. The worst thing that can happen is being with the wrong woman, the kind who slowly destroys your ambition, your confidence, your masculinity, and your future. A high-value man doesn't stay where he is tolerated, tested, or used. He stays where he is respected, trusted, and chosen. So the rule is simple. If she brings peace, keep her. If she brings chaos, release her. If she builds with you, protect her. If she drains you, walk away and don't look back. Because in the end, a man doesn't lose his life to heartbreak. He loses it by failing to enforce his standards. And the moment you learn to walk away, you become the prize she thought she was.